Before we get into today's video, I'm pleased to announce the first giveaway contest here on the Star Wars Wavelength channel for a free copy of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. All you need to do to enter is subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and leave a comment below with your preferred platform, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, or Microsoft Windows. One winner will be selected and announced on December 1st, 2019, so check back because it could be you. Official contest rules are in the video description below, and now, on to the video. Following the destruction of the second Death Star at Endor, the Galactic Empire, created by Emperor Palpatine, suffered its final defeat to the New Republic forces in the Battle of Jakku. The war was over, the surviving Imperial forces and leaders had disappeared into the unknown regions, and the rebels were victorious. A time of peace began under the New Republic, who had forced the Imperial Remnant to sign a demilitarization treaty in the aftermath of the war. Little did the New Republic and its leaders know, the peace would not last. The Imperial survivors would be back, and the galaxy would be plunged into war. Again. Before that happened, however, the last vestiges of the Empire had some rebuilding to do. Led by Grand Admiral Ray Sloane, the survivors of the Empire made their way deep into the unknown regions, a journey that took months, before finally arriving at the secret facilities and storehouses the Emperor had been building before his death at Endor. Once there, they began planning their revenge on the rebels, who had taken control of the galaxy that they felt rightly belonged to them. Whatever the plans of Ray Sloane, Commandant Brendol Hux, and the other surviving Imperial leaders entailed, we never discovered. At some point, the Imperial Remnant was discovered by a powerful master of the dark side named Snoke, and before too long, Snoke would take control of the faction for himself. Almost nothing is known about Snoke at this point, and it's not yet clear what his connection to past events in the Star Wars story might be. What we do know is that he personally witnessed the rise and fall of the Empire, he's intimately familiar with the events leading to the Empire's destruction, and he is a very powerful user of the dark side of the Force. He's also badly scarred and disfigured, indicating that he suffered some accident or altercation that left him in that state. It's not yet clear how Snoke first came into contact with the Imperial Remnant, or exactly when. We also don't know exactly what caused the change in leadership from Sloane to Snoke, or what became of her. What we do know is that she was nowhere to be found by the time The Force Awakens began, and while we don't have evidence that Snoke was responsible for that, the fact is that he was the man by the time we got to the sequel trilogy. Snoke single-handedly drove the revitalization of what had once been the Empire, streamlining it to focus almost exclusively on the military, eliminating the bureaucratic bloat and creating a fighting force far more cold-hearted and frightening than even the Empire had been. Snoke renamed his faction the First Order and declared himself its supreme leader. Once in control, Snoke began building his own inner circle to replace the obsolete Imperial leaders. After crash landing on the planet Parnassos, Brendol Hux discovered a powerful warrior named Phasma, leader of her tribe, and used her assistance to escape the dangerous planet and enlisted her into the First Order. Phasma quickly began working her way up the ranks and made the acquaintance of Brendol's son, Armitage. Brendol and Armitage did not get along, a dynamic seen as far back as the Empire's escape from Jakku years earlier. By contrast, Armitage had a better relationship with Phasma, who saw him as her ticket to an even higher place of prestige in the First Order. Together, they concocted a plan where Phasma turned loose a poisonous scorpion from Parnassos to poison Brendol, leading to the Elder Hux's death. Once out of his way, the vindicated Armitage himself became a general in the First Order and made Phasma his top lieutenant. Far more importantly, however, was Snoke's crowning triumph, manipulating Ben Solo into turning on Luke Skywalker and becoming his own dark side apprentice, Kylo Ren. We'll get to the reasons Ben turned later on, but Snoke quickly figured out how to manipulate his new apprentice to his own ends, by stoking his desire to emulate his grandfather, Darth Vader. With his closest advisors established in their places, Snoke set about building his military might, which included a massive, planet-sized superweapon called Starkiller Base. Similar in theory to the moon-sized battle station that was the Death Star, Starkiller Base was a planet-sized superweapon that could suck in the power from a star and use it to dish out unheard-of destruction upon the galaxy. With their superweapon ready to go, Snoke led the First Order back into New Republic space at last to launch the retaliation that, by this point, was 30 years in the making. However, their preparations for war hadn't gone unnoticed, and in the next video, we'll look at how Leia discovered the growing threat of the First Order and started to make preparations to defend the galaxy against the rising danger. For now though, thanks for watching this video, and as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave them in the comments section below, as well as your opinion on the Empire's transformation into the First Order under the leadership of Supreme Leader Snoke. If you'd like to support the Star Wars Wavelength channel, please click subscribe so you can be notified whenever new videos are posted. Thanks again for watching, and may the Force be with you, always.